Welcome everybody, this is going to be the Banzuke prediction game for May of 2021. My name is Leo Dickinson, your favorite heavy metal sumo lion VTuber, and first things first, we are going to be going over my predictions for the previous Basho. I predicted who might be big winners, big losers, and who would win the Yusho, and I actually did turn out to be correct on my Yusho prediction. And I made these predictions a week before leading up to the Basho, so you'll see things like I thought Kakuryu was going to have a big winning record, and it turns out he retired. So, you know, that kind of thing happens. So, first things first, again, we're going to go compare what I predicted to what actually happened, go down from the top to the bottom, and after that we will be playing the prediction game. Let me just scooch this over real quick, because there's going to be a pretty big traffic jam when we start predicting. So, let us zoom in a little bit and start to go over who I thought were going to be big winners and big losers. Hakuho and Kakuryu, obviously big losers for obvious reasons. They did not even, they didn't even compete. Kakuryu was looking good going into practice, as well as Hakuho, but Hakuho out for knee injury. Kakuryu simply retired. Up next, we had Shodai and Asanoyama and Takakeisho, our Ozeki class. Shodai did a lot worse than I thought he was going to. He actually got that losing record, and this is where I'm going to start highlighting people as losers and winners. He got that losing record, whereas Asanoyama and Takakeisho both did get their big winning records, but because they are the Ozeki, they're not going to be moving up or down. Tener no Fuji, the Yusho winner, did indeed get that with a 12-3. I think that's one of the lowest scores I've seen personally for a Yusho, because I'm used to seeing, 13-2, 14-1, 15-0 from Hakuho. But we might have to get used to a new system of a 12-3. We were even close to an 11-4 Yusho playoff between him and Aoyama, which I thought was pretty interesting. But moving on, we have Takanosho up next. He was a little winner. I thought he was going to be a loser, and he almost was going into the last day. He was 7-7, but he did pull out the win at the very end. Takayasu and Mitakeyumi, I predicted them to be small winners, but Takayasu turned out to be a big winner. Mitakeyumi also turned out to be a small winner as well, just as I predicted. And then Daisho, I thought the momentum was going to carry him, but he only got that 8-7 win. So unfortunate that he did not get another 10 wins to push himself up to Sekiwake. But because the ranks will be evening themselves out here up in the Sanyaku, with Tener no Fuji moving up, Takanosho moving over, and Takayasu moving up, it'll be Mitakeyumi and Daisho as our two Komusubi. Coming up next, we have a lot of big losers, Takara Fuji and Onosho. I thought Onosho was going to do a little bit better this time. I did not think he was going to be a big winner, but unfortunately, he was a big loser, because this was his second go up near the top of the Banzuke, because usually what happens is when they push up to the top first, they, go back down, and then they go back up, and then they do okay, or they do better than the last time. But Onosho, 4-11. Takara Fuji, 3-12. I saw that coming, personally. Hokuto Fuji and Wakataka Kage actually surprised me greatly. Wakataka Kage, coming off of an absent last Basho because of the coronavirus, actually going double-digit wins, 10-5. That really took me aback. I did not expect that at all to happen. As well as Meisei getting another big win for himself as well. I thought Meisei, again, this was his, he's been up here before and has not performed well at all, and I thought that this class was going to be a lot more difficult for him to deal with, but he pushed on through. He took wins off of everybody in the Sanyaku ranks. Well, not everybody, but you know what I mean. Down here we have a few more losers in Shimano Umi, Kiribayama, and Myogiryu. They will all be moving down. Shimano Umi, I thought, well, I predicted him on point, but Kiribayama and Myogiryu actually did better than I thought. Only slightly, though, but I still did predict them to lose. Endo and Okino Umi, again, I predicted them both to lose, but they actually were big losers. Endo out for injury. Okino Umi simply doing terrible, 3-12. Takara Fuji also 3-12. The biggest losers at this tournament. Tamawashi. I thought he would have stood a better chance, but unfortunately, he will be moving down the Banzuke. And Ichinojo, I predicted that correctly. 7 and 8 will also be moving down. And this is where you start to see there's going to be a traffic jam somewhere in the middle of this Banzuke once I actually start lining them out. Tochinoshin and Kageaki, as well as Kotonowaka, all predicted correctly. I thought they were going to be little losers being just a regular Makekoshi, not 10 plus losses, and I was correct on all of them. And then Tobizaru comes in and turns it all around on its head. He was a big winner, 10 and 5. Again, didn't really expect that. Chionokuni and Hoshoryu both were little winners, although, we'll make fun of it. That Asashoryu pops off on Hoshoryu on Twitter, and he was not happy with the 8 and 7. He did get his 8 wins earlier on in the Basho, so that's probably why he was disappointed he didn't get more, but Hoshoryu will be moving up along with Chionokuni, who was also 8 and 7. It says 2002 here because when you do 8, 5, 2, it puts it in as a date, so that's just Google Sheets. And then we get to more bad predictions by me. Midori Fuji, Ryuden, Chiyotairyu, Koto Shoho, huge loser. And Akisayama, also a loser. But Akisayama not struggling as much as everybody else did. I thought everyone right here, because again, Midori Fuji, he was hot coming into this, and then he goes 5 and 10. Did not expect that. Ryuden, I predicted little win, because, he's been here before. He was on his way down, so I thought he might bounce back up. But instead, he goes 6 and 9. He'll be going down. Koto Shoho, similarly, I thought he was gonna, he got slapped at the top of the Banzuke. Now he's coming back down against other people that he's beaten before, so surely he'll be able to go back up. But I feel like his sumo spirit has been completely broken, going 1, 6, and 8, because he did lose due to injury, or he was out due to injury for a little bit, and I thought he shouldn't have returned and just taken the 0 and 15. But hey, shit happens. And then Akisayama being a little loser. This was his peak, and I did not expect him to climb any higher than this. And I think now for Akisayama, he's just going to be on the downturn. It's just going to be a matter of how many more Basho will he last up here. And that depends on the people that are around him. Aoyama, I thought he was going to be a winner, but he really surprised me. He was a big winner this time around. 11 and 4, Jun Yusho. I mean, 11 and 4... already really good. Jun Yusho 11 and 4 because the rest of the class went 10 and 5 and so on. That's insane. Aoyama was on fire. We said this all throughout the Basho too. He had a new style of sumo where he would charge really hard off the tachi-ai, which is in recent years you wouldn't expect that. You definitely would not expect that from him, who would usually stand up, go for a couple of thrusts, and then try for the hataki komi, but now he's charging forward. He's destroying people. 11 and 4. I thought he was actually going to contend for the Yusho if Teruno Fuji lost, but I mean, even then, I think Teruno Fuji would have beaten him head to head. Terutsuyoshi, a little winner, as I predicted. Chiyoshoma, a little winner against what I predicted. I thought he was going to be a little loser. Kotoeko, also going to be moving up, as well as Tsurugisho. So now that I'm looking at the way these greens and reds are lining up, it looks like just a few leapfrogs here or there, but there will be some traffic to go through. Yutakiyama, out for injury. He was fighting through injury. I thought he was going to be a winner, but again, it looks like his sumo spirit has been completely broken. Hide no Umi, surprising me. I thought he was going to be a big loser, but he was a big winner. And then Kaisei and Daimami were also winners in the end. So let's just go through again. I want to count all of the hits I got to see if my predictions were even correct. So, I mean, I'm not going to count Hakuho and Kakuryu because I did say if they were at the tournament, then this is how I thought they would do. If they were there. So they weren't there. I mean, Hakuho was there and he was 2-0 and he left. So I feel like if he stayed, he might have done good if he didn't get injured, but I'm not going to count that. So Asanayama, Takakeisho, Teruno Fuji. I give myself 2 points for that Teruno Fuji Yusho prediction. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 predictions correct. 7, 8. Wrong predictions here. 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Tamawashi surprised me. 14, 15, 16, 17. Tobizaru surprised me. Is that 15, right? 16, 17. And then a lot of people I thought were going to be losers were winners. 18, 19, 20. And then that's it for me. I got 20 out of let's just call it 40 because Hakuho and Kakuryu. I got 20 out of 40 correct on this prediction, which, I mean, a rate of half is pretty good, honestly. I'm not going to actually go through and be like big winners or small or big losers because that was something that I added extra. It's like, that was a little like giving myself leeway because I also said like, you know, a small win might be a chance for a small lose and vice versa. And then big win, I thought, you know, there was no chance that they would get a Make Koshi. And then you have someone like Midori Fuji going the complete opposite. He was a big loser when I thought he was going to be a big winner. So now what we can do is scooch over myself. Ooh, that's not myself. Scooch myself over so we can start looking at our predictions. We're going to have quite a few people we need to scoot around, but we know exactly what's going to be happening at the top of the Banzuke. Shodai moves down to Ozeki 2. Asanoyama and Takakeisho are going to be moving over to those Ozeki 1 slots. Asanoyama was already higher, so he will occupy Ozeki East. And then Teruno Fuji, as the new Ozeki, will be Ozeki 2 West. And as we continue moving down, like I said, Takanosho will move over to that Sekiwake spot. Takayasu will move up because he got those 10 wins. Mitake Umi moves over and Daisho moves up. And then, of course, Hakuho will stay as our Yokozuna. But because Kakuryu is now retired, there is one more extra slot on the Banzuke that is going to be Maegashira 17. So now we can start actually getting into the math. Takeda Fuji, Maegashira 1 will be moving down at least 9 slots. So Maegashira 1 to Maegashira 10. But we do know that they are very forgiving to guys at the top that have big losing records. Because Onosho, he will be moving down, what is that, 7 slots. So he would be at around Maegashira 8. But again, they are very forgiving to sumo wrestlers at the top of the Banzuke that have those big losing records. So actually, let me pull up the sumo database because we will be using that quite often for our Banzuke query. Let's see. Hokuto Fuji and Wakataka Kage will be moving up. I think Wakataka Kage, with those 10 wins, will be the Maegashira 1 East. Hokuto Fuji, Maegashira 1 West. I don't think there's any doubt about that. Meisei, I think it's going to fall pretty evenly because there are so many losers that it's going to be hard to see who's going to be pushed up. Like, we might see cases where Kiribayama and Myogiryu might even keep the same rank because they went 7 and 8. Because now we have a huge gap. Shimano Umi, 4 and 11. He's going to be falling to Maegashira 10. Kiribayama and Myogiryu maybe to Maegashira 5. And then they might get pushed up. It's very, very unlikely that they actually get promoted with these losing records. If anything, I would predict maybe Takeda Fuji to go down to Maegashira 3, but that's very unlikely. Endo will be moving down. 5 and 10 will be 5 slots to about Maegashira 10, and already the traffic jam is starting. Okino Umi will be moving down 9 slots to about Maegashira 14. Yeah, that's math. Tamawashi, another 5 slots down for him to about 11. Ichinojo, only down about 1 to Maegashira 7. Tochinoshin, similarly, might move down to Maegashira 8. Kageyaki, down 3 ranks, would move to about Maegashira 10. And then we have Tobizaru up 5 ranks, so he would shoot up to Maegashira. He would be the one to shoot up to Maegashira 3, actually, so they might move him over to Maegashira 2. Chionokuni will be moving up 1 rank to Maegashira 8, and Hoshoryu similarly. Traffic jam in the middle of the Banzuke is already beginning, and it's going to be a little wild here. Midori Fuji moving down 5 ranks to about Maegashira 15. Ryuden moving down 3 to about 13. Chiyotairyu moving down 3 to about 14. Koto Shoho, he's demoted. He's just straight demoted. Akiseyama down to about 13. Aoyama, 11 and 4, could move up to that Maegashira 3, Maegashira 2 slot as well, but I would have to look that up on the Banzuke query, which we will be looking at soon. Alright, so Aoyama moving up, that would be 7 slots, so to about Maegashira 5. So it is very likely that they do leapfrog him over Kiribayama and Myogiryu, and then keep Kiribayama and Myogiryu at the same rank. But we will see how the math lines up. Terutsuyoshi moving up to about Maegashira 12. Chiyoshoma doing the same. Koto Eko moving up to about 13. Tsurugisho moving up to 3 ranks to fulfill that Maegashira 11 slot. Yutakeyama demoted. Hide no Umi 10 and 5 will be moving up 5 slots to about Maegashira 10. Big traffic jam. Kaisei moving up 1 slot to Maegashira 15 probably. And Daimami moving up 3 to about 13. Now this is where we have to consider Aqua. He is a small winner, and he is definitely going to be moving up. I mean, he was Judio 1. I feel like he has to occupy that Maegashira 17 slot. Ishiura 9 and 6 also could be moving up in the world. Oh, actually, let me highlight his name too. Ishiura Chiyomaru. I don't think Chiyomaru will make it. He might occupy that Judio 1 spot. But to Ishiura for sure, because we have 2 demotions and a retirement, it is likely that Chiyomaru actually does make it up. I think it might happen. He would not occupy Maegashira 17 because we have two demotions, and then Kakuryu retired. So a slot frees up at the top of the Banzuke. So actually, let's start querying the Banzuke. Let's pull that in. And let's make myself a little bit smaller as well, so we can actually get a good look at this database. Woo! I went flying off. So, we have Aoyama, 11 and 4 Jun Yusho from Maegashira 11. So M11, 11 and 4 Jun Yusho. Let's see how high they usually go. And that has only happened 3 times in history before. Someone even going as high as the Komusubi slot back in 1973. Let's see without Jun Yusho how high they'll usually move. And this has also happened very few times in history. Wow. 33 times in the past 70 years, about 80 years actually. The one man moved up to Maegashira 8, 2, 2, 4, 3, 2. So I feel like I would be comfortable moving Aoyama up to that. Actually, let me I feel comfortable moving Aoyama up to, you know, a little bit higher, probably to that Maegashira 2 slot. Could be maybe not jumping over Tobizaru, so maybe put Tobizaru up at that Maegashira 2, put Aoyama at that Maegashira 3 right here, because that's just how neatly it falls, you know? It just falls that well. Up next, we can look at a couple of other names. Let's see now. This is where it's gonna get a little screwy, because like we do indeed have a big traffic jam here at the bottom, and I like Kiribayama moving up half a rank with a losing record. I'm gonna have to see if that has ever happened in history. We have Maegashira 4 with a 7 and 8. I mean, I'm sure it's happened before. It actually did happen in that's the second result. Matsuragata in 1943 moves up with a 7 and 8. Let me actually see rank Maegashira 3. So it has happened before, very few times in history. It would be even more likely if they stayed at Maegashira 4. West to east. So technically moving up half of a rank, west to east, east to west. So, and I don't think like Chionokuni with an 8 and 7 and Holshori with an 8 and 7 are the closest winners. There is gonna have to be some pushing up of losers. I just think there has to be. So I think Kiribayama moves up half of a rank. Myogiryu moves up half of a rank. And I think that's the way it's going to fall. Ichinojo, Holshori, like, Some of these people are going to have to move up. Hoshoryu, 8. Let's just look at Maegashira 9 with an 8 and 7 in the first place. Maegashira 9 with an 8 and 7. No rank constriction on the second go around. And here we can see sometimes they do jump up to Maegashira 4. Look at that. Maegashira 4, Maegashira 3, but I want some more recent results. Maegashira 5, Maegashira 7, Maegashira 5, Maegashira 6. Actually happened to Myogiryu at the last tournament. Maegashira 4. So, I mean, that is something that I did also predict correctly at the last tournament. I did think Myogiryu would go up from, where was he? Myogiryu 8 and 7, Maegashira 9. I predicted him to go up to Maegashira 4 because he was the only person to do so. So, Chiyonokuni and Hoshoryu moving up to Maegashira 4 and 5 respectively. You know, I think that's doable. I think that's very doable. I'm just mostly uncomfortable with upgrading Kiribayama and Myogiryu half a spot. Ichinojo 7 and 8, Maegashira 6 moving up a full rank from Maegashira 5. I don't think that's going to happen. Some of these guys are definitely going to be pushed up. So let's see how it falls, basically. I mean, I don't think there's any, like, let's just, Hide no Umi is the closest winner. Hide no Umi was 10 and 5 from Maegashira 15. Let's see how high he might go. Because if that's happened before, where Maegashira 15 moves up to Maegashira 5 with a 10 and 15, then I might just put him up there. Let's see. Maegashira 15, 10, and 5. So let's look at the Banzuke. Maegashira 8, 10, 7. It's even happened with a Maegashira 4, Waka no Umi. Let's see, Maegashira 8, 10, 7, 10, 6, 4 back in the 80s with Toki. And that's where you actually want, I mean, with the 90s with Toki. This is where you actually want to see what happened on the Banzuke to make this kind of shit happen. And you could see a lot of little winners above him. Wow, Kaiho. A lot of little winners above him and a lot of losers at the top of the Banzuke there. So jumping up over the 8 and 7s that would only move up, you know, here. Quite a few injuries as well. Akanoshima, Takanohana, Wakanohana, and Akebono. Nice. But yeah, like Toki moving up with that 10 and 5. Let's look at that other result that I saw that moved them up to Maegashira 4. And he actually only got a 6 and 9 record at the next one. Waka no Umi. What happened above you, Waka no Umi? There was a Maegashira 22 slot. Jesus. Haridashi Yokozuna and Haridashi Ozeki. Wow. But let's see. He was Maegashira 15, went 10 and 5. And again, you could see a lot of losers. A lot of 5 and 10s, 4 and 11, 5 and 10. Like, these guys probably went up to Maegashira 2 after this. Or Maegashira 1 with this, like, 12 and 3 Jun Yusho. Probably went to Komusubi, honestly. So, you know, just looking at this Banzuke, of course it's going to be wildly different because there were a lot more ranks back then. Makushita 76. Like, what was going on back then? But, yeah, it's good to see those examples. We can still see the Maegashira 7, 8, 5. So, Hide no Umi, it's a stretch. But it's happened in history. And seeing as he's the only winner around, like, I think it has to happen. I don't think there's any way it doesn't happen, basically. Maegashira 6... I would be comfortable moving Ichinojo up half a slot, honestly. Like, Maegashira 6, Ichinojo, Tochinoshin, and Kageyaki. Again, the nearest winner is Tsurugisho, who had a 9 and 6 from Maegashira 14. Let's just really quick see where, like, the highest possible rank he could fall. So, Maegashira, he was Maegashira 14 with a 9 and 6. And again, this is, wow, Maegashira 3 back in the 40s. Let me see the most recent records. 10, 9, 11, 11. But even before that, in 2017, 2015, Maegashita 7. So, it's happened. Maegashita 3 back in 2000. What happened there? Was that, Let me see this one. 9 and 6, Kyokushuzan. Went up to Maegashita 3. Look at all of these losing records. Wow. Yeah, wow. So that is possible, you know? So it's possible that Tsurugisho moves that far up to Banzuke. I want to see if there's another example like that. We have Higo no Umi back in 96. And he goes up as far as Maegashita 3. So actually moving up Tsurugisho to like Maegashita 6? Maybe even giving him that slot to the right or to the left of Ichinojo so Ichinojo stays at the same spot. I think that's likely. I think that could happen. I think, you know, that is the situation here. Because you wouldn't want to, you know, give too many people upgrades for getting losing records. But, I mean, look at the competition around you. Tojinoshin, Onosho, they could, in theory, stay the same rank. Koto Eiko with an 8 and 7 from Maegashita 14. Chiyoshoma, Terutsuyoshi, all with 8 and 7s. Do they leapfrog these guys up into Maegashita 9 and 8? Let's see. Because these guys were, see, Maegashita 14, 8 and 7. 8 and 7. Of course, there's going to be a lot of those. Let's go to the most recent results. Let's see. 8 and 7. They usually don't make it out of the double digits. Back here, we have a Gagamaru 8 and 7, jumping up 7 ranks. What happened? I didn't want to click on you, Gagamaru. 2011, Gagamaru jumping up. Oh, that's why. A lot of retirements, probably due to that match fixing scandal. So this is one result I would put an asterisk next to the Gagamaru moving up to Maegashita 7. Let's see these Maegashita 8s though. Kokkai and Kakizoe. They were on the same Banzuke too. All right, let's see what happens above you. Kokkai and Kakizoe. Hey, Tochinoshin's there. Let's see. So many losing records above them. Yeah, pretty much everybody above them were just losers. So, Terutsuyoshi up to Maegashita 7? It's possible. He's been there before. I don't think they would be uncomfortable. Oh, but we also do have to consider Takara Fuji and Onosho. Takara Fuji and Onosho, they were big losers. But are they going to be that big of a loser? Takara Fuji, actually, let me see him first. Let me go through him first, because I don't want to prioritize these winners if we can keep some losers from sliding, you know? So let's do the Maegashita 1. He went to 3 and 12. And usually around Maegashita 7, 8, 9, even so far as 13. Wow. But Maegashita 8 seems to be the landing point. The last few years with Endo, Ikiyoi Kaisei, and Kiribayama. Kiribayama actually back in November too. So, I think moving down Takara Fuji to actually, we might actually be able to demote Ichinojo here. So we can move down Tsurugisho. We can move down Tsurugisho and Ichinojo. Put Onosho over here, because he was only a 4 and 11. I don't think he's going to fall that far. In fact, we might even be able to put him at Maegashita 5. Hold on. And then put Hoshoryu and Hide no Umi at Maegashita 6. Really even this out. So let's see that. So you were Maegashita 1, 4, and 11. Maegashita 5, 5, 5, 4, 6... 7, 7. Let's see. Waka Noho retires. Unlucky. Magashita 7-6 is usually the landing point for Onosho. So I don't think it's outside of the realm of possibility that Onosho goes to Magashita 5. Hoshoryu and Hide no Umi go to Magashita 6. No, wait. Chionokuni would have to go down with him because Chionokuni and Hoshoryu went up together. So actually, it might fall like this, where we see something like Chionokuni and Hoshoryu move up together. Onosho gets placed here at Magashita 4. And then Takara Fuji is the one to get placed at Magashita 6 next to Hide no Umi. Tsurugisho can stay at Magashita 7. Ichinojo gets demoted. They might even prioritize Ichinojo on that west side too. You never know. So I like how this is falling right now. Tochinoshin, I'm comfortable keeping him right there. Endo moving down to Magashita 8 West seems likely. Shimano Umi and Kageyaki, I feel like they would have to... I think this is where Terutsuyoshi and Chiyoshoma move up to. Because Endo, I mean, it just falls naturally. It falls naturally. Endo can move right here. Terutsuyoshi and Chiyoshoma can move up to Magashita 9, which has happened before. Magashita 3 to Magashita 9. We just saw that. Kotoeko, Kageyaki, and Shimano Umi can fall right here. Shimano Umi, where were you last? Shimano Umi was 4-11 from Magashita 3. This might actually be an over demotion too. But then again, they did, well, it was a 2-13 that sent Koto Shoho down to Magashita 11. So yeah, Shimano Umi might actually be an over demotion here. So I could even move down Terutsuyoshi and Chiyoshoma, put Shimano Umi up at that Magashita 9 slot, you know? So we can move Terutsuyoshi over, Chiyoshoma down, Shimano Umi up, Terutsuyoshi back, Kageyaki can fall into place perfectly right here at Magashita 10 because he was 6-9 from 7. And I mean, that's literally mathematically perfect. Kotoeko and Dayamami would move up together. Tamawashi, where were you? 5-10 from Magashita 6. Magashita 11. Let's just keep filling in these names and see how perfectly it falls down. Ikisayama can move over. Ryuden can move over. Okino Umi can move up. Chiotairi over. Midori Fuji up. Kaisei over. Ishiura up. Aqua. Chiyomaru might leapfrog Aqua though. I would give Chiyomaru the leapfrog. I'm missing a name. Let's see who am I missing. Wakataka Kage. Okuto Fuji. Meisei Tobizaru. Tobizaru, Aoyama, Kiribayama. Actually, let me do it like this. Takara Fuji, Onosho, Hokuto Fuji went up, Wakataka Kage went up, Meisei went up, Shimano Umi, Kiribayama, Shimano Umi, Kiribayama, Myogiryu, Onosho. Yeah. Tamawashi, Ichinojo. Ichinojo right there. Magashita 7. Tamawashi down to Magashita 11. Tochinoshin and Kageyaki moving down. Kotonowaka. I must have overwritten Kotonowaka's name somewhere. Because he would move... Kotonowaka would move down 3 spots to about Magashita 11. Alright, so let me go back. Kageyaki, you can move over. Kotonowaka, you can move right here. Then Kotoeko and Dayamami. Chiyomaru leapfrogs Aqua. And there we go. Now, I do want to get some second and third and fifth opinions, so let's go to the Nato Sumo Discord, Sumo Games, and see what some people's predictions are. We have Grand Sumo's breakdown. here is the Grand Sumo breakdown. We have Ali. And I know we have a few more. Let me keep scrolling up. So this is Ali's guesses. We have a boy named Sue. Then we have Dolores Clem. So 4 examples, I think. Let's do this. So, oopsies. What we can do here is copy the image and then put it into the Banzuke game, I think. We can, look at that. So let's zoom out a bit. And we can put these pictures in. Copy image. Oops. Copy image. Alright, and then we can start comparing and contrasting our answers to other people. So I'm not the only person that thinks Ishiuda is going to leapfrog as well. Alright. That's going to be a little off-center. And then we can do copy image. And paste somewhere. Ooh, that's a big one. So, comparing and contrasting our answers. This is mine in the middle here. We have Dolores Clem to my right. We have Ali to my left. We have a boy named Sue to the far right. And then the Grand Sumo to the left. So we have everyone's, you know, lining up because the Sanyaku ranks are pretty easy to call. Everyone has Wakataka Kage over Hokuto Fuji. Comfortable with that. Meisei filling in that Maegashira 2 slot. Everyone thinking Tobizaru is going to fill Maegashira 2 West. Maegashira 3 is going to be Aoyama. And Chionokuni is what everybody is calling. Onosho falling only 2 spots for a boy named Sue. Yeah, this is, and Onosho also falling for another person as well. I think Chionokuni and Hoshoryu would be over promotions here. So I, again, like Onosho I think falling to Maegashira 4. Maegashira 5 is also a good answer, I think. This is this is where, you know, everyone is going to start differing. The bottom is pretty safe. Everyone is looking for Ishiuda, Chiyomaru, and Aqua. Ishiuda, Chiyomaru, Aqua. Ishiuda, Chiyomaru, Aqua. Ishiuda, Chiyomaru, Aqua. Well, actually, our man on the far right has Aqua over Chiyomaru at that Maegashira 16 slot. So that's interesting. Moving up, I seem to be... Okay, I'm not the only one that has Kaisei on the right side of the Banzuke. Dayamami on the left. See on the far right example. We have Kaisei and Midori Fuji at the same rank for pretty much everybody. Okino Umi and Chiyo Tairyu at the same rank for everybody. Except on the far right we have Dayamami only moving up 1 rank. Ryuden and Midori Fuji right there. That's interesting. Kiseyama, I have him at Maegashira 13. Grand Sumo has him at Maegashira 13. On Okinoumi and Chiyo Tairyu. Yeah, I'm closest to the Grand Sumo one right now, going up from the bottom, because they have... Because if we want to overlap these images a little bit, we have... Oops. We have... Ryuden, Akiseyama across from each other. Kotoeko and Dayamami at the same spot, but they have them switched. They have Terutsuyoshi and Chiyoshoma here, whereas I have Tamawashi and Kotonowaka. So that might actually be something to consider as well. I might be over-demoting these guys, because if we want to keep comparing... let's see. Everyone seems to have Kotoeko and Akiseyama. Or Kotoeko is at Maegashira 12. For everybody. Whether or not a Kiseyama actually falls
A lot of people have a Kisayama staying at the same rank, but I think it falls fine if he falls to Magashita 13, because Dayamami can move up from Magashita 16 to Magashita 12. Like, that's fine. Kotonowaka and Tamawashi, Magashita 10, Kotonowaka Tsurugisho. Oh wait, hold on. Let's do Magashita 11. Terutsuyoshi and Chiyoshoma. Terutsuyoshi, Chiyoshoma. I have Tamawashi, Kotonowaka. Magashita 11, Tamawashi and Chiyoshoma. And then you have Chiyoshoma and Kotoeko. So everyone seems to think Chiyoshoma will be Magashita 11. But I have him at Magashita 10. So this, again, this could be the case of an over demotion on my side. It could definitely be Chiyoshoma only goes to Magashita 11, and then Kotonowaka and Tamawashi stay the same. Or rather, Tamawashi did have that 5 and 10, so that could be an over demotion. Kotonowaka, he went 6 and 9. So that might definitely be an over demotion. I'm actually rethinking this a little bit. Kotonowaka, you very well could be an over demotion. So let me move a few names around. Kotonowaka and Tamawashi could very well be over demotions. So yeah, seeing that, do want to move Chiyoshoma down. Terutsuyoshi, you could be an over promotion as well. You only had an 8 and 7. Could move you into that Magashita 10 slot. Kotonowaka, though, you might scooch up a little bit further as well. Yeah, again, this middle part right here, Magashita 5 to about Magashita 11 is where it's going to be really, really difficult to predict. So let's take it from the top again. Magashita 3 and 4, we have I have Kiribayama, his losing record right there. Let's see. People have Kiribayama at Magashita 4. Right, because Kiribayama would be moving up otherwise. So they probably want to... I can see the thinking behind putting Onosho at Magashita 3, so you don't promote Kiribayama and Myogiryu. But I feel like Chiyonokuni and Hoshoryu should be moving up together, so I actually think Myogiryu and Kiribayama being the Magashita 4s is probably the flex. Ali over here has Chiyonokuni and Hoshoryu moving up together. Onosho moving down to Magashita 5. What do you have over here? You have Kiribayama and Myogiri. Yeah. The more I see it, the more I think Onosho will be occupying that Magashita 3 slot. Even though he was a big loser, it's not outside of the realm of possibility that he only moves down 2 slots because, again, he is at the top of the Banzuke. They do usually have more leeway towards losers at the top of the Banzuke. So I'm more comfortable with this now, Onosho at that Magashita 3 spot, because I would not be comfortable promoting Hoshoryu and Chiyonokuni that far up with only 8 and 7s. Because they were at Magashita 9. To go to Magashita 3 from Magashita 9 with an 8 and 7, that is most certainly a kiss of death, and you're getting more than double-digit losses. You're probably going to go 1 and 14, let's be real. But as we continue to compare, Kiribayama, Myogiryu staying the same. Everyone has them in that neighborhood. I'm comfortable with this now. Chiyonokuni and Hoshoryu, I think they move up together to Magashita 5. I don't see the logic in what Grand Sumo is doing here. Chiyonokuni up 2 more ranks than Hoshoryu, even though they had the same record at the same rank. Probably because he was the east side, and he feels that Kiribayama and Myogiryu have to stay where they are. Onosho needs to demote further than Magashita 3, so naturally Chiyonokuni would go up there. So I said I can't see the logic. I can now. But I feel like if you're doing that, then you should bring Hoshoryu up like what Ali did over here. Bring Hoshoryu up to Magashita 4, scooch these guys down half a rank. Onosho sits comfortably at Magashita 5, which Onosho at Magashita 5, I definitely won't argue against. Then we have Magashita 6. This is where I put Takada Fuji and Hide no Umi. I'm not the only one. Takeda Fuji Magashita 6 for Ali. Takeda Fuji Magashita 6 for you. Takeda Fuji, where did you put him? You put him at Magashita 4. That's interesting. So, our man to the far right prioritized the people at the top, basically. Takeda Fuji falling to Magashita 4. Not outside the realm of possibility, but I feel like it's very unlikely. I would be much more like... I think... I see the logic. They wanted to demote Kiribayama and Myogiryu half a rank as well, because they did get those 7 and 8s. Takeda Fuji, the natural fit right there, and then Chionokuni and Hoshoryu right there next to each other. I definitely see the logic there. I'll agree with that, but I do think Takeda Fuji will fall further than Magashita 4 with a 3 and 12. It hasn't happened enough times, I think. Ichinojo, you have him moving or staying the same. Hideno Umi, I seem to be the only person promoting Hideno Umi that far up. Other people seem to have Ichinojo and Tochinoshin staying the same. You have Hideno Umi at Magashita. I can't even tell because it doesn't have the numbers on this side. But this is where my first big like hit or miss guess could be Hideno Umi at Magashita 6, Tsurugisho at Magashita 7, because nobody else has Tsurugisho at that high. The limit seems to be Tsurugisho at Magashita 9. So I could possibly be over promoting him. And I could easily... Let me just scooch this picture over. I could easily, like, keep Ichinojo and Tochinoshin the same rank. Scooch down Tsurugisho and Hideno Umi. I think I'm going to do that. Ichinojo and Tochinoshin staying the same rank, I'm comfortable with. Tsurugisho, you can scooch down one. Hideno Umi, you can also scooch down one. I'm comfortable with that move. Oops. There we go. So I'm comfortable with that little scooch. Ichinojo and Tochinoshin staying the same rank. Hideno Umi and then Tsurugisho. We don't see Hideno Umi on yours until Magashita 9, but I have him at Magashita 7. You have him at Magashita 7 like I also called. Takeda Fuji and Kageyaki. This is where you put Takeda Fuji. I see. At Magashita 8. I have him at Magashita 6. You have Endo and Kageyaki here at Magashita 8. I have Tsurugisho moving up. I have Kageyaki. I might be over-demoting Kageyaki. Because he was at Magashita 8 with a 6 and 9. No, that's not an over-demotion. I'm comfortable where he is. Terutsuyoshi, you went 8 and 7 from Magashita 10. Or no, 8 and 7 from Magashita 12, I think. So that could be an over-promotion. Other people have Kotonowaka at Magashita 10. Magashita 10. What do you have, Kotonowaka? You have Kotonowaka at Magashita 9. Now, I can see a line where we put Terutsuyoshi down here, move up Kotonowaka, move over Kageyaki. I feel like that could be the flex. So we move down Terutsuyoshi. Don't over-demote Kotonowaka. Give Kageyaki half of a rank. Because Kotonowaka, you went 6 and 9 from Magashita 8. So going down a rank and a half with a 6 and 9. I feel like that's a fair call. And then Kageyaki was above you. Okay, so Kageyaki above you with the same record. It doesn't make sense that Kotonowaka would be above him when he had the same record from below. So, Kotonowaka... Oops. No. Kotonowaka moving down. Kageyaki moving up. Kotonowaka. So now, Kageyaki and Kotonowaka kind of, oops, that's a squish I didn't expect. Kotonowaka and Kageyaki were a half a rank apart before. They are still half a rank apart now. And they just scooched down the Banzuke together. So I'm comfortable with Terutsuyoshi Magashita 10. Because I'm comfortable with Tsurugisho Endo. Magashita 8 also seems to be the stopping point for him in a lot of other people's. Magashita 9, Magashita 10. So I'm comfortable with that. Tamawashi, Chiyoshoma, and then, yeah. So it's, my guesses are vastly different here in the middle compared to a lot of other people. We have a lot of the same bottoms. We have a lot of the same tops. It's just this middle section where it gets really tricky. And comparing and contrasting, I think this one is hard to read, so I'm just going to get rid of it. So I can do this. Actually, let's put you over here. Because we have the actual Banzuke here. Prediction for May. And now we can get a really good look. And I'm going to do one more final go down this Banzuke. Comparing and contrasting again my answers to other people's answers. And let's give it a look. So, Sanyaku ranks basically up to Maegashira 2 East. Everyone is the same. I have Tobizaru. Yeah, everyone has Maegashira up to Maegashira 3 the same. This right here is the actual Banzuke. So everyone has up to Maegashira 3 about the same. Maegashira 3 West is where it starts to diverge because we have Ali and we have Grand Sumo who prioritizes promotion and feels that Onosho should fall further. Maegashira 1 to Maegashira 3. Let's just ask the Banzuke how many times that has happened in history before. So Maegashira 1 to Maegashira 3 with that 4-11 record has not happened before. Simply has not happened. Yes, it has. With Kakizoe. Five and 10 with Kakuryu. 6. Oh wait, no, I read that wrong. My bad. He went 4 and 11 afterwards. So usually it's a 6 and 9. 5 and 10. 5 and 10 seems to be the lowest. 4 and 11. This would be the first time in history they do that. So maybe I do want to demote Onosho, but I don't want to promote Kiribayama. You see, that's the problem. We have people whose lines of thinking are, you can't promote someone who had a losing record. Or rather, they don't want to promote someone to Maegashira 3 with a losing record. But we can see that it has happened before. Stop it. Maegashira 4 to Maegashira 3 with a 7 and 8. How many times in history has that happened? It's happened before. The last time was back in the 60s. But it's happened. Like, we can see what happens on the Banzuke to allow this to happen. And what we see is people demoting from the Sanyaku ranks. Let's see, you went 7 and 8 and promoted because everyone else above you lost. Which is not the case here. Wow, a lot of people fucking lost. Holy shit. They only had... Maegashira 12 was the lowest rank? Jeez. It's a lot of Maizumo, too. Yeah. So basically, in these situations, everyone above them lost. Pretty much. Not here, though. We have a Wakano Umi going from Maegashira 4 to Maegashira 3 with that 7 and 8. It's happened. So, I do think I want to go back to Onosho Maegashira 4, Kiribayama moves up half of a rank with a demotion. Myogiryu moves up half a rank, well, with a demotion, with a losing record. You know what I mean. Kirebayama and Myogiryu both move up half a rank, because I am not comfortable promoting Whole Shoryu and Chiyonokuni all the way up to Magashita 3 with a 7 and 8. From Magashita 9. I mean, with an 8 and 7. Magashita 9 to Magashita 3 with an 8 and 7. How many times has that happened? It's actually happened a lot more times than I expected to in history as well. Oh, I changed my hair at some point. I must have hit a button. So it has happened before. It's happened more times than the half of a promotion up. So I can see the justification for it. I can see it. And the more I think about it, the more I might want to do that as well. Chiyonokuni and Whole Shoryu, I feel like that's an over-promotion though. But this might be the right line. Because we can see, like, Onosho only moving down 2 ranks. That's never happened in history with that record. Or in the history we have. Staying the same, that happens all the time. Like this... It's hard because there are a few schools of thinking that you could take with it. You could either feel like you're over promoting these Magashita 9s that at 8 and 7s, or you could feel like you're under demoting Onosho. And again, both lines of thinking are fine. What I don't understand here is separating Chiyonokuni and Whole Shoryu. Because you can easily demote these guys, you know, half of a rank to fit Whole Shoryu up there. So I think I will do that. I think I will go with that. I'll scooch up Chiyonokuni and Whole Shoryu. Move down Onosho to allow Myogiryu and Kirebayama to move down half of a rank. Chiyonokuni moves up to Magashita 3. Good luck, my man. Whole Shoryu up to Magashita 4. You will be fighting against the Sanyaku ranks. So, Takeda Fuji, Ichi Nojo, Tochi no Shin. So now I'm in line with what a lot more people are thinking, and I think this is most likely to happen as well. I don't see Onosho being Magashita 3. It could happen. It could happen, but it's so supremely unlikely that I'm not comfortable thinking that it'll happen, you know? And then we have... I have Tsurugisho, or from here, Hirano-umi, Tsurugisho, Endo. Hirano-umi, Takarafuji, Kageyaki. Yeah, this middle section is where a lot of people are going to be a little screwy. But I'm comfortable keeping Ichinojo and Tochinoshin the same. I'm comfortable keeping Takarafuji where I left him. Hideno-umi and Tsurugisho. I could see people arguing that those are over promotions. But, like, we checked the stats. This type of promotion has happened in history. It has happened before. And I'm not the only one thinking Hide-no-Umi is going to be a Magashita 7. Tsurugisho, Takarafuji, Kageyaki. And, yeah, it's just a couple of flips here or there. I think this is the final. I think this is my final guess on this Banzuke. And I think this is as good as it's going to get. And this will be, like, unless I do any last second changes, 99% sure that this is going to be my final guess. Because again, looking at what other people are, looking at what they are thinking on their Banzukes, it's like understandable and more reasonable, I think. I think it might be more reasonable. Because, like, it would be very, very hard for me to argue Onosho will only fall 3 ranks. And the crux of that argument is on Chionokuni and Whole Shoryu getting an over promotion from Maegashira 9 to Maegashira 3 and 4 with an 8 and 7. But that's happened more times in history than a Maegashira 1 falling to Maegashira 3 with a 4 and 11. So I have subscribed myself to that line of thinking. I don't understand keeping Kiribayama and Myogiryu the same and separating Whole Shoryu and Chionokuni. That I don't understand. I don't think you could argue that for me. Move over Onosho, scooch down Myogiryu and Kiribayama half a rank, scooch up Whole Shoryu alongside Chionokuni. Or they could be thinking the Banzuke and the Sumo Association is biased against Whole Shoryu because of Asa Shoryu, so they don't want to promote him as high or something like that, because, you know, these are all humans making these promotions. So you could make that argument like, listen, the Sumo Association does not want Whole Shoryu near the top. They don't want to promote him more than they have to, so they're gonna keep him there. And, you know, that's a more sinister and not very by the numbers argument, but that I would buy that. I would totally buy that. And then the rest of the middle rankings is just a crapshoot, let's be real. So with that, I think I will take the time to say thank you, everybody, for tuning into this Banzuke prediction game. I will be tomorrow. We will have another song here on YouTube. And please, if you liked my predictions, if you like, you know, sumo, like, subscribe, leave a comment down below. Maybe ask me a few questions about, you know, if that I didn't answer already in my justifications for where I put people on the Banzuke. You know, I will be in Nato Sumo's Discord server as well. I'll be posting this video there. So, if anything, thank you for watching. And if I can get even more people into sumo like I already have, that's great. If not, then if you are already a sumo fan, then please let me know. I always love to meet more sumo fans. And of course, in May, on my Twitch channel, please follow my Twitch, please follow my Twitter. On May, on Twitch, I will be streaming the sumo tournament live with some English commentary from myself and my friend Congo. And it should be a lot of fun, especially if a lot of good things happen. As well as, there's one last second note I forgot to mention as well. Teru no Fuji will not become Yokozuna with another win in May. He needs 2 wins in order to get that Yokozuna status. And from there, that will be all. Thank you very much for watching. Please, again, like, comment, subscribe, follow me on Twitter, follow me on Twitch. You can get those in the description below. And if you really like my content, there's also a donation link that you can give to my PayPal. Thank you, everybody, for watching, and I will catch you cats later. Oh, and if you're questioning what the background music is, it's the soundtrack for an anime called Mushi-shi, because it's my favorite, and I need background noise for my fucking... I can't just talk for an hour straight with no background music. I mean, come on.